Hi Sagittarius, this is Tisch Aitken, and this is your monthly report for the month of May. It's a very busy month ahead, so I'm going to try to break it down as best as I can. So to begin with, at the end of April, Pluto, which is the planet of power, transformation, death, and regeneration, stationed retrograde on April 27th at 24 degrees and 48 minutes of the cardinal earth sign of Capricorn. And for you, this occurred in your house of income and value and self-worth. And you feel that station 5 days before and 5 days after. And that can bring major transformational change. It can bring major endings, and it can feel very intense. Pluto is the planet of intensity. So that energy is still palpable at the beginning of May. And there are 4 planets transiting in the fixed earth sign of Taurus, which is falling in your house of work and daily routine. And this is a good time for getting centered and focused on your health regimen, on your work and habits. With 4 planets in Taurus, it's very good for creative work as Venus rules the sign of Taurus. It's good for following through and committing to your habits and to your work and being of service. On the 2nd of May, Mercury, which is the planet of communication, forms a beautiful trine to Pluto. And this is good for professional and financial endeavors, good for breakthroughs in communication, and for feeling more empowered. On May 3rd, Mercury squares Jupiter early in the day, and that, I feel, gives a preview of Mercury in Gemini, because Mercury will be transiting in your opposite sign of Gemini until July 11th, so for over the next 2 months. And Mercury loves being in Gemini. It rules the mutable air sign of Gemini. It's very much about gathering and dispersing information and networking and local community, and it's a very social energy, but it can be a lot of conversations at once and taking a lot of directions at once. And for you, Mercury is going to be transiting in your house of relationships through July 11th. So a lot around partnering. When Mercury retrogrades at the end of the month, you can expect a lot of old memories or decisions or people from your past to resurface. Maybe you're rethinking certain relationships. It's a great time for healing relationships with communication and really getting to the bottom of it, but lots of activity with communication late spring into the midsummer. So you can expect it'll be very busy for your social life and professionally, partnering with many people and a lot of communication. And on the 3rd, the Sun in Taurus squares Saturn in Aquarius, and Saturn is transiting in your house of learning and communication, and that is a reality check of whatever you need to get together with communication, and also with this whole tour of Mercury in Gemini the next couple of months, because it's an excellent opportunity to reassess how you can partner both with yourself and with others in a better way. On the 6th of May, Venus, which is the planet of beauty and love and finances, forms a beautiful trine to Pluto. And this can bring for you excellent financial opportunities, because again, Pluto is transiting in your house of income and how you earn money. And Venus is transiting in your house of work and daily routines. So this is a nice energy for creative projects and definitely for financial projects. And on that date, the North Node of Destiny forms a beautiful sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer. And this can bring very good healing around creativity and around love. So that's a nice energy. And on the 8th of May, Venus changes signs and it enters the sign of Gemini It squares Jupiter that day, so Jupiter is the ruler of your chart. That's the grand benefic and the luckiest planet, squaring Venus, which is the planet of love and beauty and pleasure. And it can be a bit excessive, but it also can be very fun energy. And Venus will be transiting in Gemini until June 2nd in your house of relationships and partnerships. Now you've got Venus and Mercury transiting, bringing a lot of opportunities to connect with other people in a variety of ways. And on May 11th, there is a new moon that takes place at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at 21 degrees and 18 minutes of the fixed Earth sign of Taurus. And for you, this falls in your house of work and routine. And it's a very manifesting new moon because the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, and the moon forms a beautiful sextile to Neptune, which is the higher octave of Venus. It's very compassionate and loving and really magical and creative. And the sun also, the new moon rather, also forms a trine, which is a 120-degree angle, a very fortuitous aspect to Pluto, the planet of transformation. Again, helping to bring transformation in your work and your finances and creating new things of value. So really nice day for doing manifesting work. And on the 12th of May, Mercury forms a trine to Saturn. And for you, that's really good for financial opportunities, good for communication. Mercury is transiting in your house of relationships, and this whole Saturn-Jupiter story in Aquarius, where you're forming a new 20-year vision, and that began on the winter solstice. This for you occurred in your house of thinking and communication and words and ideas, as well as local community. That's really about forming a new way to think, new ways to network, and to find positive energy and ways to think in a difficult time. And for you, you're ruled by Jupiter, the planet of optimism, so you're pretty good at that, but it's still a difficult time. And on May 13th, there's a really big deal because Jupiter, which is the luckiest planet and the ruler of your sign, actually changes signs and briefly enters the sign of Pisces from May 13th until July 29th. And it'll be transiting in your house of home and family and emotional foundation. And Jupiter loves being in Pisces. It rules Pisces in ancient astrology, and it's exalted in the house of home and family. So this is a phenomenal opportunity for you to expand within your home. If you're doing renovation or repair, this is an excellent time for bringing abundance into your home. It's kind of like the Empress card in Tarot, very abundant and happy and content and fertile. And also it brings a lot of opportunity if you have your own business or if you work from home. This will be very nice energy and feeling happy, feeling like your needs are getting met. So Jupiter in Pisces is a very nice energy we'll all be dealing with on the collective, which is centered on compassion and love, but definitely great for you for finding security in home and feeling happy and expanding if you're thinking of moving, if you're thinking of selling your home, if you're thinking of doing repairs. This would be positive timing for you to do so. On May 17th, the sun forms a trine to Pluto, and that's an excellent day for getting things done and getting things accomplished. On May 18th, Venus forms a sextile to Chiron, the wounded healer. And that is good for, finding security in your ego around love. And on the following day, on the 19th, Venus forms a trine to Saturn in Aquarius. And this is good for commitment and stability in partnerships. Good day for relationship opportunities professionally, romantically, friendships, etc. So really nice energy. On May 20th, the sun enters the mutable air sign of Gemini, which is your opposite sign, and it will be there until June 20th when the summer solstice begins and the sun enters Cancer. So now, as we get towards the end of May, there are 3 planets transiting in your house of relationships. So really time for you to network and get out there. And Saturn and Jupiter story also is really for you to do a lot of networking. For all of us, Saturn and Aquarius is about building community and networking and learning through innovation and technology and inventing a new world. But for you, this is occurring in your house of local community, although Aquarius is infinite. So it's really about connecting and networking. And now Mercury will be in your 7th house of relationships for a couple of months, and the Sun and Venus will be there for a while as well. So a lot of focus around relationships. On the 21st of May, the Sun squares Jupiter, and that can be a bit excessive, but it can be fun. On the 22nd of May, Mercury forms a square to Neptune, and that could be confusing or could be miscommunication with relatives, or maybe feeling a little depressed. It's a very good day for doing manifesting work, because to really manifest, you have to believe it's possible, and Neptune rules the imagination. On the 23rd of May, Saturn stations retrograde at 13 degrees of Aquarius, and this falls in your house of thinking and local community. And Saturn will be retrograde for several months, and you feel that station 5 days before and 5 days after. And Saturn is the reality planet, and it's the planet, or it's the sign rather, that or it rules Capricorn, and is the planet of structuring through facing reality and anchoring your goals. So getting clear on what you need to restructure in your thinking, because there's part of it where you will have to each of us has to learn how to think in this new world in some way, you know. And on the the 26th of May, there is a lunar eclipse that takes place at 7:14 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in your sign at 5 degrees and 26 minutes of the mutable fire sign of Sagittarius. We're in eclipse season, it's an eclipse month, and this lunar eclipse falls in your sign. If you have anything between 3 and 7 degrees of Sagittarius, or of any of the mutable signs, and the mutable signs are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, you will feel this the most strongly. But nonetheless, it is a lunar eclipse in your first house of self. This could bring big changes in your environment. It could also bring changes in relationships, whether it brings breakups or perhaps it's bringing fruition to a project you've been working on. Eclipses are like wild cards. You know it's going to be a lot of action and activity in the month of May. We have Jupiter changing signs. That is the ruler of your chart. You will feel that immensely. We have a lunar eclipse. Eclipses always bring a lot of heightened energy and big life changes, moves, breakups, new beginnings, new jobs, everything. Big changes in people's lives, and sometimes comes out of the blue. But you know, again, it's a busy time and it's in your sign axis, so you're going to feel it strongly. And doing a lot of manifesting work, burning Palo Santo, burning sage, working with crystals, doing things to release that which you wish to purge, because the South Node is transiting in your sign, beckoning you to release things that are not working for you. And on the 29th of May, Venus meets up with Mercury in the sky, and that's a lovely aspect. And then Mercury retrogrades at 24 degrees and 43 minutes of the mutable air sign of Gemini. And Mercury will be retrograde until June 22nd. And it's retrograding in your house of relationships. Many people from your past could resurface or you may be reassessing decisions you've made in relationships. It's a great time for reconnecting with people, or if there are issues in existing partnerships you wish to heal, really getting to the bottom of it with communication, which is our best resource. And on the 31st of May, Mars forms a trine to Neptune, and that is very creative energy and good for finding contentment at home. So it's a very busy month. We have 2 retrogrades between Saturn and Mercury, and we have Jupiter changing signs. So a lot going on. I wish you a lot of luck, and thank you very much.